Hello, Sims. Welcome to the third episode of the Past Podcast. I'm Motismo 3000,
I'm
and
Punching
Dungeon's here as well.
591.
And today's guest is. Go ahead, Lucky.
Hey, excellently lucky. What's up, guys?
Um, well, yeah, this is gonna be the episode after the great, very safe for work forest episode. So, before the general questions, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'll go a little bit into about myself. I really came from a background of sports and video games, and what sports I played were well, I really much have played them almost all. Um, I played football for 8 years, basketball, soccer, baseball, for four. I played recreational golf. I played a little bit of tennis. Um, and I also do bowl. I'm pretty good at bowling as well. So my sports background is pretty great. I actually have a ring from football from winning a Super Bowl back in Florida. That was in 2012.
Damn.
Um, we were crowned as national champions. So that's like the whole East Coast. We were the best football team in 2012. So we went
Bro.
undefeated. I played free safety, and it was a ball, man. We got to get out of school for 2 weeks and playing a bracket, so it was really cool. Regarding video games, I started off with playing like Mario Party, and that was one of my favorites. And also the Nintendo 64, playing GoldenEye, um, 007, and that was a real battle royale back then. That was really fun. Four players going around the map and seeing who could be the last. So that was really fun. But yeah, that's just a little about me. I am also 22 years old, and I've been streaming on Twitch as well for 2 years, and I've had a blast. I started off streaming CS:GO for almost 2 years, and I stirred away from that because I was not getting any viewership whatsoever. Now I'm on Roblox. I started back in April, and I've been blowing up. And now I'm partnered with Stylus, and my first shout out will be today at 7 p.m. So if you guys want to see that, I'm not sure if you guys want to come by, but that'd be great as well.
Well, that's a lot of our questions out of the way now.
Yeah, basically.
Oh wow.
You basically answered just about everything we had to ask.
Yeah, to you, as special questions to our guests. You've answered like half of them,
Cool, cool.
but that's
Well,
all right. Anyways,
I
let's
didn't mean
go.
to take the show from you guys.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine, man.
I mean, you're the guest here, you know?
That's kind of your
So,
point. Just to be the spotlight of this whole thing.
Yeah, and I appreciate this is my first podcast, so I really appreciate the invite. It was I told my mom and I told my dad, and they were like, um, I even said you guys probably aren't like the biggest in the game, but they thought that was like really cool. Some people on the internet thought I was worthy enough to be sat down and talked to about like who I am and what I do and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
damn, that's Pog.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know someone would actually tell their parents about us.
I thought it was a pretty good accomplishment. I do like telling my family members what's going on with my streaming career, because I've always wanted to be an influencer since I was like the age of 13. My parents didn't really support that idea. They're like, "How are you going to make money?" Like back then, it wasn't, people weren't really making money like they were now. So
Yeah,
they're like, "There's no way you can do this and make a living." And but now they're really supportive. They're egging me on. They're like, "Keep going. You can do it. You can do it," and stuff like that.
that's nice. Because not
Yeah.
every parents are like some parents will still not support their children, yeah, their children when they do streaming or something like that. Even though
Yeah.
they do gain something, they will still be like, "Oh, you'll need to find a job, you know. It won't last forever."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that it did take a lot of hard work. With my parents not supporting it at first, being 13, first I can't work, so I can't really get the money for the equipment that I needed, and doing house chores around the work, or around the house. I wasn't really making much money to get the stuff that I wanted. So when I turned, I believe 15, I got my first. No, it was I was actually 16. I got my first job, and I'm only making $200 like every 2 weeks, and I was
Bro.
paying for my. I was splitting the cost with my sister for my like car insurance. I was paying for my own food, and also like spending money on video games. I wasn't really like I was pretty irresponsible with my money. Like I wasn't really saving to buy the equipment I needed as well. Um, but from like 13 to 22, that took a lot of time for my parents to like really see like, hey, this kid could actually be successful because there's so many other people doing it now. So that's it's it took a while for them to realize I could possibly make it happen.
What platform do you stream on?
I stream on Twitch. I even tried YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook. YouTube is not really the platform for the streaming community, and I'll tell you why. Uh, there's like no discoverability. It's not like Twitch where you see all these live streams. They give you suggestions, and there's gaming categories. With YouTube,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
right. It's very hard to navigate the streaming side of YouTube. So I stopped there. I did try Mixer. Um, I
that's
wasn't
dead.
on Roblox. Yeah, it is dead, unfortunately. I was really hoping Mixer would take off, but when I tried it, I was playing CS:GO. I was not really getting any traction either. Man, I wish you guys could have saw. You'd be surprised like how the CS:GO community was compared on Mixer um, to
Which
Twitch. Yeah, and here, let me take a look real quick. I'm gonna just pull that up. I'm gonna take out like ESCL right now has 70K viewers. If you were on Mixer, it'd probably have like 300 or 400. It was crazy. Just like,
Dang.
and I thought that's why I could make it as well because they're yeah, that's just a reason why I thought I could make it
Yeah,
because they're
less people to
exactly
have less choices means you can be found more easily.
But also,
exactly
like,
yeah.
difference between CS:GO and Phantom Forces is that CS:GO has like thousands and thousands of people streaming all at once, while Phantom Forces has like couple. So like people can find you more easily from on Phantom Forces than like, for example, a mainstream game.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I want to talk about that as well. Why is it that these Phantom Forces streamers, maybe like I just looked at that today. Dan Galileo, I think his name is. Let me see what his actual name is. I actually just gave him a follow. And I don't mean to bag on any streamer at all, but I'm just going to state the facts here. But Dagnolio, he just hit 500 followers. I just saw him hit 500 followers, and congrats to him. I know that's a big feat. Um, but DevZTV, you guys know him, right?
Nah, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
DevZTV, he has 2,000 followers on
What does he play?
he plays Phantom Forces.
Mm,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, in
yeah, yeah,
Standus.
yeah. He has 2,000 followers, and right now he's above Dagnolio. But maybe like 30 minutes ago, Dagnolio had about 23 viewers, and Dev only had like 15. So I'm just like really curious on how that really works with a PF streamer going live, having that amount of followers, and getting that amount of views. Because when I stream, I do have good streams.
Yeah, like
Um,
once you hit like 41 or something.
no, no. Well, I'm also, and I shouldn't be comparing myself, but I see that when I stream, I don't nearly hit those numbers. Like I'm maybe at like 11 at max. And
Damn.
I have a pretty strong following. I most of my followers actually came from PF. Before I went into PF, I had maybe about like 400 followers, but now I have 1,000, So that's about 600 people. And, I'm just not seeing the viewage that I would see from, these other PF streamers. And I'm just really confused. Like, what possibly am I doing wrong that aren't getting these people to click my stream and getting the views like these other people are?
It all depends on like basically how popular you already are. If you're
Yeah,
like, and especially like good YouTubers, like for example, yeah, YouTubers like some guy when he starts a stream, he has like already like 30 people watching, like right off the bat. And like I think some people like just would go for more mainstream YouTubers and streamers because like they know them better. Like they don't know you, so that they don't want to like waste time, like quote unquote waste time. Don't say like the content would be bad. It's just they're scared it would be, so that they don't want to take a chance and they just stick with like the mainstream streamers.
And I get it with Dagnolio, with all his 500 subscriber or followers, that's all from PF, all from Roblox. So I can understand he, also built that as well compared to like my 600. And I'm not too far behind him. Um, but I think definitely this is going to be a great day to really uh, kind of solidify my viewership because of the shout out that I'm going to get. And continuously, I'll try to get every week if I can. Um, so even though, and maybe I shouldn't even have brought that up because I feel like I will start soaring past these guys. And, but yeah.
Well, that was a pretty big chat, and it was very interesting as well. But
yeah.
I think it's probably the time to get into the questions now.
Yeah,
So
sure.
let's start with the most basic question. When did you start playing PF?
April. April of this year, I started playing PF, and there's a little story behind why I went to Roblox. After my 2 years of streaming, all I was playing was CS:GO and Gary's mod, and I just wasn't, like my max viewers maybe like 4 or 5, and I'm just like, wow, I've been doing this for 2 years. I wanna be a successful Twitch streamer. I wanna be the biggest. I want the big names to know who I am. And I've been watching them since I was a kid, and now I'm all grown up, and they still don't know me, and it just kind of really hit me hard, and I was just like, wow, I really should probably focus on a job and start getting my life together, become I just turned 22, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm old now. I can't really keep chasing this dream of being a Twitch streamer. And so, I'm literally at the edge of giving up, and um, I started playing Brawlhalla. I was like, I'm gonna switch up the game, so I started playing Brawlhalla, and Brawlhalla did kick off a little bit. I was okay at the game, and I gave people challenges, and people really enjoyed me there. But it still wasn't enough for me. Like I have a GTX 1080 in my computer and a decent CPU, and you know my game quality, my mic is an Audio Technica, what some rappers use for their music. So I'm just like, yo, my quality is sick. Like, why aren't people flocking to my stream? So I was like, I gotta try something else. And
Yeah, honestly, from my experience, I know what you're talking about from seeing like why aren't people coming to me? It's a thing that a lot of streamers and YouTubers have when they start out, is because you know your quality is better than some of the quality of the bigger people out there. But the problem is that it's just the overload of kind
hi,
of.
my mom's gonna come in. She just wanted to listen.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It's kind of the overload, the oversaturation of the market in Phantom Forces and Roblox in general. I think it doesn't have the biggest community, but it can still be oversaturated. Unless you're doing something really out there and really new, you're not going to really get the biggest following or fan base. And that's kind of the problem that a lot of people have, honestly.
Um,
Yeah, but also a thing we should do, like, that's what I do with Pass, is that I mean, the Pass podcast, is that I try to advertise it everywhere I can,
Yeah,
so that,
exactly.
like, it can grow as fast as possible. Well, you're lucky. What you do is that you have your own server and you don't really advertise much. Like, you hope, luck will be on your side and that people will actually find out about you, but the chances of that happening are very low and very slow. It might work, but, like, it won't be very fast.
yeah, and you know, you guys want to know a crazy thought I actually have? Because of my name, you know, I guess people kind of maybe overlook like, oh, may you know this guy's gonna be fine, and you know that might be the reason they're not staying long, or drop a follow, or maybe not show, uh, you know, the support because maybe my name is, you know, just enough, I guess, to get me past in the future. So I was also thinking about changing my name, but I love how original it is, and it has a story behind it. My grandma, since I was a baby, I was pulling up her flowers in her flower garden, and she was about to pull a switch from a tree to go, you know, give me a lesson, and she stopped and thought, and you know what? She said, "You know what? You're lucky." And then that's how I got the name, and
Damn.
yeah,
Dang.
so
Epic backstory.
yeah, so that's been really cool. But I'm trying to remember how I ended up finding how I got to Roblox on Phantom Forces, and I can't remember the story behind that. But man, I and when I started, I wasn't getting views, but I was just having so much fun playing the game. It really reminded me of the MW2 days. Just very smooth, very um how can I say, I guess reactive. Like everything was very like fast paced, and
Yeah. That's also a problem with a lot of FPS games, is that you
it's
cannot
very
find anyone.
laggy. Yeah, it's not, I guess, not laggy, but I guess the response time on the video games just don't seem right, like how they were back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get to the next question.
Yeah.
Dungeon, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, I'll do my lines, Motizo. That sounds like a
Go
good
ahead.
idea. Okay, what made you want to play Phantom Forces instead of just like any other game?
Man, like I was just at the end of my career after playing Brawlhalla, and I still wasn't getting the viewership that I wanted. And like, to be honest, I'm still a little dissatisfied, but I'm coping, and you know that's okay. Like I'm just getting it by, and I'm looking at other streamers as well, and you know I see the viewership is possible. You know I can see it could be consistent, so that's what's also driving me. But what got me into PF was I needed to try something new, and I knew the kid audience would be something I would love to tap into. And a little background about that as well is, I have a big family. My dad has two sisters, two brothers, and you know they all have kids. And me, I'm the oldest grandson on my dad's side of the family. So I had a lot of responsibility with looking after these kids, and you know being a role model. So I thought, you know, this is something that I'd be willing to get into, and you know, I still can't exactly remember how I got into PF, but when I did get into it, I fell in love. And yo, just like the kids being 13 and be able to, you know, destroy people on the game was like stupid amazing. I'm like, I was really woed about like how good these kids were at this video game, and that's also what kept me interested as of today, because I'm still like amazed, like, you know, these 13, 15-year olds can be this good at a video game. Like back then I just started being a PC gamer, and I wasn't like that, you know. I was also always on console, so it really amazes me.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's what got me into games, FPS games in general too. Because I remember I think my first shooter game was Splatoon on the Wii U, And then I had my Mac and I was like, oh, TF2, that's a free game on Steam. I'm going to download that. And I hopped in a pub server and someone absolutely destroyed me. And I was like, holy moly, this guy's amazing. I want to get this good at the game. And it hooks you in, man. Because you just see all the people and you know you can do that. So you want to keep going and get better and improve.
Right.
Me, basically, what got me into PF is that since I am also on Mac, you cannot. Well, I mean, I was on PC, but like, you know, I was like 10, so I didn't really know what games to play. So I wanted to find a new game. So I started playing Phantom Forces, and I was like really, really bad. And it's only recently that I started playing again, and it's pretty fun, yeah.
And you still are.
Why'd you stop
Wow.
playing Motisima?
I mean, because I was so bad, like, and plus I had school as well, and I had an actual computer, so I played real games. I mean, like, quote unquote real games, like games that aren't on Roblox.
Right.
And yeah,
Yeah. I think I avoided Roblox for a long time because there was one kid at my school who was like really annoying who said he loved Roblox. And I avoided it. And I basically I've probably played PF like 3 times consistently, like for like a few months and then got off and then a few years and then a few months got off and then another time. Because I always hop around games, honestly. Like I did Overwatch and I got to like Masters and then I did Roblox and then I did like CS and got to a high rank. It kind of just jumped around for me. And then I found out that PF had a competitive scene, and I was like, huh, cool. So I tried to stay there.
Yeah, guys, I wish, when I'm I guess a little more established, I'm going to really reach out to, Corny, Klinger, and some of these other PF streamers and really start to try to, I guess, really band together, make content, and try to blow up PF because PF is, the next game that's going to take over PF is most likely Call of Robloxia. That's not coming out until 2025. So we have 5 years of basically one of the best games on Roblox being PF to get it noticed. I mean, I heard PF can support up to like at least like 35,000 players. Why does it only have 10,000 players? Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that's really good, but like
there's a game like
this
Adopt Me, who's basically just hatching
exactly.
pets, and it
There's
has
a game
500,000.
Adopt Me, and then there's Arsenal as well. Like PF
It's got
really
the
should be
50K.
up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus, like,
Honestly,
it's because like Arsenal and Bad Business and things like that are easier than PF, and like it's slightly more balanced. Because PF has guns like M16A3 who are like pretty good and are balanced,
and
and
then you
then
have the
there
M60.
and then right next to it there's like M60 AA12 and MG3KEES, fucking guns like that. So that's why also a lot of players don't like it, and also because sometimes, like for example, most of the players in PASS, if they join a game, they just start shitting on everyone, and
Yeah.
like new players don't like that because they want to play the game and not get absolutely destroyed. So that's one of the reasons why nobody
Yeah.
plays.
Well,
I feel
go ahead,
like
Dungeon.
oh
Oh
yeah,
my
okay,
god.
sorry. So I feel like another reason why those games are really big is yeah, because a bad business is kind of it has nicer models. I feel like compared to Phantom Forces, and Arsenal got the Bloxy, so people wanted to play a game that got a Bloxy, so it kind of blew up because of that. And also,
Phantom Forces did get like Game of the Year in like 20 back in 2016, and
it
like
blew up.
at that moment
It got
like
more players then.
blew
It got
up.
more, but Arsenal blew up just recently because of Bloxy. Also, that's an untapped market bringing together PF YouTubers. I think Oscar's tried it before, but not consistently. That is basically the key to any untapped market of bringing
Yeah.
together streamers and stuff
Yeah.
is to bring together people with following. That blows it up. Honestly, that's a really good idea.
I think if like Rage, Oscar, Farium, I think if we all really tried to band together and I mean, of course, the bigger ones are going to see it as, as maybe like a handout, but it would be a really good it'd be a really good PR move just for the PF community and could also bring in them so much traffic as well, even if they are necessarily giving us like a handout. Um, it would it would potentially bring in a lot more traffic than you could imagine. But that's with all these other streamers playing Among Us and playing Call of Duty together, I think we also need to do the same thing in the PF community as well.
Honestly, yeah, I was about to make the Among Us analogy because Among Us in January, February 2019, I had the game and I was playing that with my friends. We were 5 out of the 10 concurrent player base. That was the average. And then Colin Carson got the game and it blew up. And if you have people who are influencers and bring them together, then game blows up. And that's what happened with chess. That's what happened with Among Us, all the party games really.
Yeah, good example. Team 10, when they all banded together, they were the thing. They were the new, and that's even if we do end up being like Team 10 and falling all apart, we would have in the process grown so much that we would be most likely better off on our own. But at the time now, as it seems, I think we really need to band together, be strong, and make good content. Um, oh man, I did want to kind of go off this topic for a second and talk about something else. Darn.
Well, yeah, this is a call out to the content creators of PF. Band together. We need to expand our horizons and expand the player base. That'd be
Oh,
really
for
good.
sure. Like, and maybe like have like a guideline, like Stylus did. You must have like 1,000 followers on a platform in order to be, I guess, invited to this type of ordeal. So,
Hmm.
Well, let's go to the next question. I'll be doing this one. So, um, will you switch to core when it'll come out?
um, oh, of course, I will definitely switch to Call of Roblox when it comes out. I believe in Corny. Corny is telling me that it's gonna be a lot bigger than PF, which means more views, more exposure. Even if honestly, guys, I'm gonna be truthful. Even if I don't like the game as much as PF, I've got to play it because of how much viewership it has and how many concurrent players it'll have as well. Um, so it's definitely something I just have to tap into.
Question to follow this one. Will you still do PF videos or like streams even when Call of Roblox it will be out?
I'm sure I'll miss PF again. 5 years is a long time, and if I see myself playing PF for that long, um, and I'm a type of person that mains a game. Like I played CS for 2 years. I'm a type of person. I've actually played CS for more than 2 years. I have like almost 3,000 hours on CS. Um, I played back in 2013 or 2012 and but yeah, I started streaming it I only streamed it for 2 years, but yeah, I'm the type of guy to main a game, and I could see myself maining PF for a long time. I've already been playing it since April. We're coming up to that year mark. 4 more months, and we're at that year mark. But I could see myself, coming back to PF and uh, making some videos, making some content.
Okay, well, I'll be asking another one real quick. Um, so what was your reaction when you got verified by Stylus?
So here's the story behind that, guys. I applied the first time. I've actually applied twice. Now, the first time I applied, I got rejected. And I got rejected because they looked at my social blade and saw a huge spike in followings. And what that was I got follower botted. And But before I applied, I did reach out to Twitch to see if there were any ways to get rid of those follow bots, and they unfortunately told me there was no way. So when I got rejected, they told me to reapply in another year, and I was devastated. I was like, I've worked, I've been playing this game for months, and I worked so hard to gain the followers I did have, and that really hurt. And I told them what happened. I showed them a screenshot of Twitch saying there was nothing I could do, and what they told me was, okay, well, you can reapply. Um, what did they say? Okay, so I think in between there, I asked Corny if I could get I think Corny helped me. Well, he did help me get rid of these follow bots. So when I got rid of them, they told me, okay, when you hit 1,000 followers again, then you can reapply. So I was down to like, from that 400 followers, I went down to like 600. So I had to regain all those follows again. And believe me, it took a decent amount of time. Um, and so I reapplied once I finally hit 1,000 immediately. And Corny sent me all the stuff to read over and to apply, and I did it. And I even put in, thank you for allowing me to reapply again, and for understanding that I thought there was no way of getting rid of these bots and there was no malicious play behind it. And they ended up approving me. And man, I told my mom, I've told like anybody I could tell. Stylus is literally like the biggest gaming developers
It's even
on
partnered with
Roblox.
Discord.
Yeah, being partnered with Discord, like being partnered with them is really a huge, humongous like stamp on my Twitch career. Like it's just like a great feeling that I'm being partnered with them and having their support as well.
Yeah, well, I got another question for you. So I know you said that you wanted to switch over to PF because of the probably the exposure and the people who would watch, but are you enjoying your time playing Phantom Forces?
So you know there there are some times where uh here just recently actually there are some moments that kind of get a little vague and bleak because of some personal issues happening with my car. Um, I spent 7K on a new car, Mazda Miata 1997 MX-5. I spent 7K on it, and it needs a new engine. And to pay for a new engine is going to be about 3K. The labor is going to cost about 1,000 to 1,500. So with $4,500, I could buy a new car, like a real nice car. But the problem is, I would also be seven. I'm trying to do basic math. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm almost 13 grand in the hole on a old car, on an old used car. That's not good. You don't
No.
want to spend 13 grand on a old used car. Now I mean, with a new car, yeah, because it'll last you for 7, 8 years. But with an old one, that's just not a smart investment. So, uh, my aunt, she ended up giving me a new car for about $400. It'll probably be like $300 to fix. So boom, I got a car for less than a grand. Um, but that really hit me, man. Like I hadn't I hadn't streamed for 3 weeks, and but anyways, going back to enjoying PF, like that had a little bit of part into it. um I just didn't want to do anything. I was really depressed. And I'm back at it now. I just started streaming this last Sunday, and I'm having a blast again. I'm really enjoying it, and I love seeing all the mistakes that I'm doing in PF, and I know I'll get better over time again. um and I love interacting with the community. I love when they reach out and ask me like, "Hey, how can I get better?" I love new players coming in and asking me how to get better, and also grinding for that CEO title. I was CEO of the TRG at one point, and there's a guy that's a little ahead of me, so I'm slowly trying to get that title at my own pace. Of course, I don't see myself grinding until I, of course, overpass them. Just little by little, I want to grind at it. Um, just playing for 2 hours will give me carpal tunnel, man, and I got to take a break. I haven't played in so long, so it's pretty bad. But yeah, I love PF, man. This is a game that I've really enjoyed and I can say like haven't enjoyed a game like this in years.
Yeah. But something real quick. Are you proud of what you have accomplished so far?
I am proud. Now, I'm also not disappointed, but I guess eager to do better.
Yeah,
Um
that's understandable.
That's a good mindset to have.
yeah, yeah. I am very proud on not giving up because I was so darn close. And I'm in school right now. I have a full-time job and also trying to fit streaming in here as well. It's really tough, and you know it's just really tough, guys. So but I'm really proud of not just my accomplishment online but also in real life as well.
Well, Dungeon can ask this other question.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I mean, like, do you have any hobbies outside of gaming? I know you said that you did football. Do you still do that?
No, I'm really gonna try and incorporate IRL streaming to my hobbies. And actually, I do have another hobby. I bowl whenever I can. I'd love to do a live stream on me bowling a couple games. I think that'd
That'd
be
be
really fun.
epic.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, my dad, he has a discount on a discount on excuse me. He has a discount at this gym. It's a really known gym in North Carolina. It's called Lifetime, and they we have a my dad has a discount for his dependents, and I want to go play basketball there and maybe work out. Do workout streams playing basketball. Um, the place that I'm looking at with my new job, I'll be able to afford an apartment soon. So this place that I'm looking at has a park just down the street. Maybe doing some jogging streams there, maybe just roaming around the park and sightseeing. And I really want to incorporate doing some IRL streaming and on Twitch. So that I think that'd be a really good hobby as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to expand your audience. Because I do some streaming as well. I stream Roblox, and then I stream Beat Saber on time to time because I realized that if I just streamed Roblox, I it won't exactly. I'll have a dedicated follower base, but you also don't gain as many viewers as if you do like variety branch out.
Right, right. And VR is definitely something I want to get into too. With my apartment, I plan on having my dining room space just set up for my VR, so I just have so much space and room to do whatever I want in a VR setting. And I think that's gonna be so much fun. I'll definitely Beat Saber's most likely gonna be like one of the first thing I try, so I can
It's
get a hand of
yeah,
VR.
it's objectively the best VR game, honestly. That you can't really fault it for anything.
Yeah.
Let's go to this last question. Well, last personal question. Do you have any future plans, like, outside of like PF or core or anything like that? Or maybe, yeah, like in streaming.
I'm glad you asked that. And I want to get into the boxing scene. Naming all those sports, doing all
That's
those sports
interesting.
all those years, Bro, the boxing scene is where it is at. All these YouTubers, I mean, not all of these YouTubers, there's only like a handful of YouTubers getting into the boxing scene. I want to get into it, and I want to be the best.
Yeah, you got the
I,
That's a
KSI and
big
Logan Paul
goal.
stuff. Yeah, you got the
yeah,
KSI and Logan Paul stuff. You got all that exposure to deal with and all
yes,
that.
yes.
I understand where you're coming from for that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Also, boxing is pretty popular as well, and it shouldn't be that hard to get in it.
No.
Like a lot of people who aren't known, they still gain like a lot of money from contracts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you know how to stand out, like you have a pretty good future, but like it comes with its risks. But if you're ready for it, I mean, like it's a really good future plan.
There's a lot of things I have to do on my own before I can get into it. First, it's just my personal health, guys. I haven't played sports since like 2014, so that's six
Oh,
years.
damn.
Yeah. So honest, always, man, my health hasn't like plummeted, but hasn't been the best since I was a teenager. And I'm in my 20s. I'm in my younger 20s, and this is like my prime time to like get that body back like I had was I when I was a teenager, and I'd even be stronger than I was before because I'm a grown man now. So like this is like the time to really get my body back in shape and be consistent on working out, training, and getting my mind right for future events. So I'm really excited about that. Once I move out of my apartment and settled in, you guys will definitely start seeing some. And of course, I have to get the equipment as well to stream wherever I need to stream. But yeah, you guys will definitely start seeing me work out and get ready for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, let's go to this question. Um, so we're gonna go into PF questions.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
um, so what is your favorite gun?
Definitely TRG. TRG is it's a fast-paced gun, and why they have it there at such a high level is because you have to be an aggressive sniper. Um, I'm not saying you have to run around. A successful sniper will find a spot to camp at and get those long kill streaks. But that's making it sound easy. It's not easy. You kill someone twice, they're going to be looking for you at that same spot. So that's just one challenge at itself. But with the TRG, you can run around so freely. You have that mobility, the agility, and I personally use short barrel. I know long barrel is a little better, so you can get more one shots. But I personally have short barrel on, so I can have better mobility. And I do that to challenge myself because that means I have to hit more headshots than normal to make sure I get that one shot, one kill. And I think that's really made me much more of an elite player. And why I get so many kills as well is because my headshot percentage is just so good. Um, so yeah, TRG is definitely my favorite gun.
Well, on
Before that,
topic.
it was the M107, and that was great. Definitely couldn't move around like I had with the TRG. I'm sure you guys are aware of, but
Oh yeah.
It's very slow.
man, very slow. Couldn't really. I know one guy. His name is Siddiqui, one of my followers, that can quick scope with the M107 and move like I'm moving with the TRG. But everybody's different. I couldn't figure out how to do that, so I tried
Probably
to
got
find
some mad
another
Zudo
weapon.
hops or
He
something there.
probably no. He also probably uses CQB barrel,
Oh
which
yeah, that makes
like
sense.
very short barrel.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had this question in mind, but I forgot about it, and now I remember it again. So I've heard you've wanted to get in Paradox. Is that still the case?
Guys, I'm really trying to get into an org that is willing to take me. I actually tried out for the Phase 5 thing. Unfortunately, I didn't even get in the top 100. and I really wanted to get into the top 100 so the world could see what Phantom Forces was, and I thought that would blow up Phantom Forces like no other. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. I probably also should have reached out to other big content creators on PF to try out for it as well because maybe they would have been more successful. Um, but that's just now coming across my mind. But Paradox is definitely on my sites. Even Rage is on my sites. Any org that's willing to take me at this point, I'm more than willing to sign with them.
Yeah,
Um,
because especially with the exposure that, like, for example, every time there's like a Paradox member that joins a public server, everyone just starts going nuts. So
right,
like, just being a
right.
Paradox member, you'll have a bunch of exposure. So like, you have much more views.
Yeah, it would be really nice, but that's a goal that I want to be on a team, and down in the future I want to actually make my own team, but I know I gotta be on a team first, solidify my reputation, get a following, and even go beyond that before making my own team. I also want to uh, be a coach of a team as well. But that's maybe like, when I'm like Ninja's age, like almost in my 30s or something like that, I'll start to try to make my own team, my own org, and
It's a good idea.
hopefully by 30, maybe I can start making those moves.
Yeah. I got another question for you on the topic of guns. Do you have a least favorite gun, like one that you hate using or hate playing against?
Um, Now there's one that I hate using, the BFG. Just it being a one shot gun and having to reload is not really appealing to me. I want to cock the gun and then be ready to go instead of reloading because it just takes so much more time. And I feel like if I can hit my headshots, why do I need a one shot sniper? And I've even seen the BFG get hit markers before. It's not common, but it may happen every now and then.
You hit that limb shot and it doesn't do the full 100.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah. And then a gun that I hate being used against me is light machine guns. Like the HK or the MG,
M60, L86.
M60. Yeah, any light machine gun against a sniper is a laser to them, and there's so many bullets whizzing by you, it's hard to
It's
pinpoint where
also
that
a big
person is.
suppression, especially that L86 got a suppression buff.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
basically Earthquake.
Earthquake.
But I respect like machine gun users because you're toting that thing around, you're slow, you're probably not seeing too much action as well. So
Yeah, well, all right, I'll be asking this next one. So, what is your favorite map and game mode combination?
um ooh hmm sorry it's taking me so long, but I'm just trying to go over like all the maps. Oh, Bazaar King of the Hill. Bazaar King of the Hill is the bomb. I love Bazaar so much. I got my highest kill game on Bazaar. Um, I want to say, actually no, I got my highest kill game on Elevation, but I got my first highest kill game on Bazaar. It was like
How many kills was it?
67, 68.
Oh, that's decent.
I was running, I was running around with the AA-12. I was running around with the
Wow. Okay,
AA-12.
that explains.
Yeah, that explains. But then on Elevation, I don't. I want to say I was using a sniper. I don't remember what gun I was using, but I ended up getting
Probably
around
TRG, to be
70
honest.
kills. No, it wasn't with the TRG.
Uh,
I know I haven't beat one of my highest kill games with the TRG yet. Actually, it might have been with the M107. I got like a 70 kill game with the
how do you
M107.
move around elevation with the M107? That's my
Yeah.
question.
Well, so if you spawn on the right side, I'm not sure if it's Ghosts or Phantoms, but if you spawn on the side with the helicopter,
That's
and
fine.
it's King of the
Yeah.
Hill. you can spawn trap the heck out of those guys. And I have some I have some clips on TikTok of it of me getting like an 8-man feed. Uh,
Bruh.
yeah, it was insane. It was great. I had so much fun that game.
I'll take note of that from my future games. Well, um, I think that's pretty much it for the questions. Uh, yeah, well, Lucky, thank you for coming onto the podcast.
Yeah, this is my first podcast. This was so cool. You guys were very professional as well. And to
Thank you.
be so young and to be this serious about your craft really impresses me as well. So I'm glad to be on it.
I mean, yeah, still thank you again. Uh,
Thanks a
th
lot.
Thank you for giving us a lot of time because like this probably is our longest podcast so far.
Word, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if it'll be as long like on editing, but probably will be. But yeah, this will probably either be second or third episode. Yeah, thank you again, Lucky.
Thanks,
Uh,
Motissima. Thanks, Dungeon.
Yeah, thanks
all
for
right.
being here, man.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see you another time. So
Yeah,
guys,
yeah. Maybe in the future we could do another one.
yeah, don't forget to simp. It's life. All right. See ya.
See you guys.